What do you think we should do about this enormous burden that, student debt is facing so many people in this country?
Yeah, when you look at student debt doubling in the last decade,
Yeah.
and I noted I had $175,000 in today's terms that I had to pay off. I mean, first, what I've done, and then what I think that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
I've frozen college tuition 6 of the last 8 years in Montana. And that's not by starving our universities. That's by investing more money at the state level into the system. If you look from the recession until today, 46 states have decreased their state investment in higher ed by almost 20%.
Yeah.
Montana's one of 4 that's increased, so we have the 4th lowest tuition and fees in the country. Student debt load ends up well over 10 grand less than the average for our country. So we have to make meaningful contributions at our level. Now, when you look at the literally what's the overall student debt burden out there?
Billions.
That I think that there are things that you can do without going down the absolute free college for all. Think about
the free college is on the front end, but would you, Warren's got this proposal to wipe out the debt for something like 96% of Americans, pays for it with, a wealth tax. What do you think about that?
I think that there are things that you can do without wiping out the debt for everyone.
And why don't you want to wipe out the debt?
Well, 2 things. One of which is that, in an ideal world, no one would have student debt.
Right.
But as long as, we could figure out how to pay for it, and let's also recognize that 68% of America doesn't have a college degree.
Right.
So how do you make it more affordable along the way? Now, 60 years ago in this country, we said, wouldn't it be great if employers sponsored and carried health insurance? So what did we do? We actually incentivized saying, employer, you can write off the cost of health coverage. An employee, you don't have to pay taxes off of this.
Yeah.
Think about what we do for student loans. Now, if an employer turns around and says, John, I'm going to cover your student loans, I don't think it's business expensed. And then you, as the employee, have to pay taxes on it like this is a benefit. So we need to actually make it so, first, employers can cover part of it. If you look at it, we have 80 to 90% of all of the student loans out there are owned by the federal government.
Yeah.
You could lower the points along the way. You could not dismantle the public service and loan repayment programs. I think there are a number of steps that you could do without just saying, all right, we're going to wipe all this away.